and I'm here to be real with y'all. I'm down to half a pack a day. Told myself I was gonna quit. I'll be keeping this from y'all.
Everybody the illusion, the immediate illusion, just like that dude that went viral because he lit up a cigarette. All it took was him to light up a cigarette and go viral. And then everybody's like, praise, oh, he's so real and he's so legit. Oh my God, he's got so much wisdom. Like, he's gonna quit smoking, and he made a video about it. And then he goes viral just because he says, oh yeah, I'm a loser, and I'm gonna quit smoking. And everybody's like, whoa,
power to doing this,
like, oh my God, he smokes,
What?
and he's a loser,
Real.
and he's gonna quit smoking and get a job. Oh my God.
Okay. So
I'm so inspired. You have such deep wisdom, man. Oh my God, you finally realized, and you like that cigarette. You're such a wise person. I'm gonna support you no matter what. I'm with you in this all the way, man. Just because you lit up a cigarette and said you're gonna get a job. Oh my God.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hadn't made a recording in a while, so I figured I'd fire it up. So this is kind of crazy. I'm not sure how to approach this, but so this is a Facebook post from a friend of mine back in high school, and he hooked up with this girl. I want to say back in 20s. I remember hearing about it from my mother. Basically, this is a friend from high school, by the way. So I remember my mother telling me about this probably back in 2017, 2018, something like that. And I remember thinking to myself back then, I was like, when I looked at his profile and her profile, I know both of them, by the way. The girl, not so much. The girl was actually a neighbor of mine back in the town I lived in, and this was one of my best friends in high school. So he ends up hooking up with her, and when I looked at her profile, turns out she had like 3 sons. So it's like immediate, not even, we can skip past the yellow flag stage, go straight to the red flags, you know? I'm thinking to myself, this relationship isn't gonna work. I just let it go, okay? Because I hadn't talked to the guy in years. It's none of my business. So back in 2020, when my mother died, was around the time they got married. Like I want to say right before the big CV is when they announced their wedding, and they had wedding pictures up on their Facebook posts and all that. And oh, we still got them up actually. That's crazy. I'm not gonna show them, but so they got married, and around the time my mother died, which was in November of 2020, later that year, I thought about sending him a Facebook message and basically try to catch up with him for an evening or something like that, just to see what he's up to. And I thought better of it because I know I can't close my fucking mouth, especially when it comes to these relationship issues. But I just knew, I mean, if y'all have been following me for as long as you have, you already know that relationships like that just aren't gonna work. If it doesn't matter if she was married before or not, or if she was a divorcee or whatever. She had 3 boys. She had three teenage boys in the picture. He's going into her world, if that makes sense, because he has to go into her world because she's the one with the children, right? That's kind of how society's set up nowadays, anyway. Where with this male and female shit, where a lot of dudes are going into women's worlds because they're the ones that had the babies. They have all these baby daddies, and I don't know her story verbatim, right? But I could really tell this was gonna work. So lo and behold, I was being a nosy neighbor a few days ago. I think like maybe like 2 days ago, and I noticed that on my buddy's Facebook profile, he had divorced on there. I was like, oh shit, what happened? So I looked up her Facebook stuff, and lo and behold, it had divorce status as well. I was like, oh fuck, when did this happen? I was just sending a DM to Kirk talking about it and stuff, and just having an interesting conversation about that. And this morning, as early as 8:22 a.m., he made an announcement that his marriage was ending with that girl. All right. I'm gonna block out the names, by the way. So just to go ahead and read it. Life has moved on to a new chapter, and marriage has ended. I can't live in chaos. I can't live in chaos any longer. So I'm walking forward with peace, gratitude, and clarity. There was never infidelity on either side, just a never-ending disagreement how to handle life's problems. And it's like, yeah, that's. I mean, I hate to be one of those guys, but I really did call that ahead of time, where it's like this relationship was not going to work because it was going to be nonstop disagreements. Like he said, it's like disagreements about probably how to handle those boys, how to handle life, just everything, because she's the one with the kids. All right, her kids are her priority. If she's a good mother, right? Good, quote unquote. If she's a decent mother, she's going to make her children her priority, which is what she's supposed to do. But since she's got this man, this former friend of mine or a friend of mine, whatever you want to consider him, getting in between the children, right? That's going to cause friction. That's going to cause issues. That's why these relationships don't work the way they do. All right, so I'm going to read a few of these comics, and it's mostly just people just bullshit. I mean, they got nothing to offer. They literally have nothing to offer other than their well wishes, the good old Christian thing to do, right? And if I was talking to this dude, which I'm not, if I was talking to this dude, I'd be like, it's like, yeah, man, it's like that's just the way the world's operating right now. I mean, this isn't a surprise to me. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, maybe it will work out, and maybe I'll be wrong. I want to be proven wrong. And they're like, nope, 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 nope. It just keeps happening, keeps happening, keeps happening. Read this post. I hope all works out for both of you. You both mean a lot to me, and I am glad to call you both my friend. Never gave up to the better M and still love her and wish nothing but the best for us and to you as well. Thanks. The guy's name. So, um, next post. I'm sorry, friends. Next post. I hate that. Sending praise for both of you. Life is short. Never take anything for granted, and every chapter has a reason. Hoping you find all the happiness your heart can hold. And he replies, "Thank you. She and I both need prayers. Got y'all covered." Again with the empty prayers, empty platitudes. That shit doesn't do anything for anybody. Somebody replied, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Another reply, "Sorry to hear. Just remember Kenny." Oh well, I can say his first name. Just remember Kenny. Everything happens for a reason. Who knows? Maybe you guys need a break from each other. Sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah, fucking stay the fuck away, man. Thank you. I don't usually post about my personal life, so this wasn't easy to share. I believe God has his reasons for everything. Sometimes he brings peace through distance and trusting his plan. So the thing about that is, I believe in God and his reasons. Is like, yes, God does have a reason. He how do I put this? He was showing you, like this girl, this woman is showing you all of her business, all of her colors right out in the open. He doesn't even realize it, right? And this is God's way of showing him the reasons, right? Or showing him the way. It's just so many adults, so many idiots think that, oh, God wants this relationship to work out. It's like, no, 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 no. God is trying to separate you from these crazy asses. You know what I mean? So that's God's plan, quote unquote. I know because I speak to him every day. um, Another post. Sorry, neighbor. Ever want to hang out? Let me know. I appreciate you, amigo. Another post. Sorry to hear this. Is there any reason? What? There is a reason for every season. Praying for both. Praying you both find the peace you need that, and you both come out on the other side stronger. Thank you. I agree. I have faith. I hope her life is as amazing without me as I hoped it would be been together. And I don't know, man. It's always to me. It's always the dude. And I knew this dude in high school. Okay, and from what I kind of gathered, he's not much different than the way he was in high school. Like super cool guy, super relaxed guy, and I'm sure he has his moments where he's a fucking asshole, right? Everybody is, but I'm pretty sure this dude is just as cool as he was 30 years ago, or however long it's been, 25 years ago than he is now. That he is now. I'm pretty sure he's the same person, right? Guys tend not to change too much in that way. Neither do women, to be honest. I had wrote a reply, and I deleted it. I was like, you know what? I don't want shit. I don't want shit. What did I put? Let me find it. Oops. Here it is. Yeah, leaving. I put on here, leaving awake. Leaving awake of practice husband. Sorry to hear, but unsurprisingly, yeah, I deleted it. I was like, you know what? I don't want bullshit from anything. I'm just gonna fucking. I'm just gonna fucking delete it. It's not worth it. I left it up for like 2 hours, or an hour and a half or so. I was like, you know what? This shit ain't worth it. Um, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? It's just a clusterfuck, man. Nobody else sees this shit. I mean, it's been like what? They lasted almost a decade, you know? I mean, those kids, if I remember correctly, they were teenagers, so they should be adults, right? Yeah, they should be adults by now. I think maybe she had one younger kid that was probably becoming a teenager by this point. I don't think he was a toddler or anything. But yeah, just this ongoing drama, and I hope he didn't, put his wee wee in her and had a kid with her because fucking just a goddamn nightmare, man. I wish this dude the best, obviously, but like I said, I'm just gonna put a black block on the left side here to block out the names, and I'll just read them. That's why I'm reading them. But yeah, man, what else is there to say? It was funny because Kirk and I were talking about this. Let me find the post real quick. Just cut this out. Let's see here. I guess I'll put the DM up here and I'll just block out the names. Is that a good idea? I don't know. It's kind of annoying. Let's see, cam only. I'm gonna do it this way for now. I'm just gonna leave my everything blank and I'm gonna read off the, what's it called? DMs here, just to be stupid. So, so yeah, I'm just gonna read off the DMs here. The So me and Kirk were having a conversation. I had noticed this yesterday morning. Wow, right, like literally right before he made the post about his divorce, because he posted it at 8:22, and I was messaging Kirk about this at 8 o'clock a.m. So it's like a few minutes, not even a few fucking like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before he actually made the announcement that he was getting divorced. That's wild. Let me read it. Kind of wild to watch an old friend of mine marry a single mom from our high school, only to see them divorce recently as their status. Knew this shit wouldn't work the moment I saw it. Uh, I see that a lot. I see that a lot actually. Schmucks from my high school hooking up with girls we went to school with who are stuck with kids. It's sort of hilarious. Yeah, and I'm gonna mention this later as I'm reading, but I actually I was getting catfished by a former high school. She wasn't a friend, but a former high school classmate of mine. And she sent me a DM through Facebook and was saying something like, "Hey, how you doing? I hadn't seen you at work at HEB in a while because I used to see her at HEB all the time where I used to work." And I just ignored her. I ignored her. I didn't block her or anything, but I ignored her. And because I knew what she was doing. I knew she was catfishing me. It's like, oh, she's this is gonna be crazy to y'all, but a lot of these girls, like especially in these small towns, because I'm from a small town. This town that I'm from had a population of 2,200. I don't even know at the time, it was probably less, but right now the population in that town is 2,200. So it's a really, really small town. So what this girl that messaged me probably does, she messages a whole bunch of dudes, right, from high school, seeing who she can bait, right? That's why it's called catfishing. So I knew I was being catfished. I ignored her and just left it at that because I knew what this stupid ass was doing. She's just looking for the first schmuck that'll pay attention to her and that'll send her a message back, okay? And I see this another because I get nosy sometimes and I'll look at my former classmates and they're all hooked up with girls from my class that had kids with other dudes, and now they're stuck raising the children because they're just lonely schmucks, right? Like, it's so fucking weird to witness this, guys. It's like, it's so crazy. It's amazing to see this happen in my old town like this. Like, so many, at least like two guys I can name off the top of my head are in this situation right now, besides this guy. So at least about three. um, like that stupid skink I told you was obviously trying to catfish me. Oh yeah. Kirk called it the high school sweetheart agenda. The thing is probably what happens. A lot of these dudes that you have seen, they just take the bait. Yeah, it's bait. It's exactly what it is. I said, wonder how many assholes she messaged this crazy behavior. As many as she needed. I'm sure she eventually found some idiot. Yeah, and she did. I looked at that girl recently, and yeah, she's got some schmuck on her profile picture with her and everything, and all that jazz. So this is me talking. I saw my father's stupid daughter. That's my sister, my half sister. I saw my father's stupid daughter that way too. I'm not a moron. Well, at least not. I'm not that stupid. She just wants to expand her network. Fuck off with all that. Bitch looking for an Uncle Buck. That shit is part of the programming too. That stupid faggot Snooks or whatever talked about that, about he wanted to be an uncle for his nieces. I'm like, man, are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, talking about that Snooks guy, he's like that too. In his video, I'm gonna go over this eventually, maybe today. In his video, he had mentioned that he talked about how he wanted to be an uncle for his nieces. Is like, dude, stop it. It's just I don't know where this programming comes from in particular, but I had mentioned the movie Uncle Buck, and there's a lot of Uncle Buck motherfuckers along with the Schlubby Hubby. To me, Uncle Buck and Schlubby Hubby are kind of in the same network of simps, like simp morons. Um, Kirk says, lucky for them, there are plenty of fuckhead dudes with no self-respect that would happily sign up for to be a Schlubby Hubby. Yep, absolutely. There's plenty of schmucks out there that'll happily sign up to be an Uncle Buck too. So right here I said we got the Schlubby Hubby and the Uncle Buck. Shit is wild. Kirk had mentioned that John Candy was in Home Alone, and yeah. Oh, Home Alone kid was in Uncle Buck, and John Candy was in Home Alone. So there's like creepy fucking Hollywood bullshit. I'm pretty sure he got his. I'm pretty sure John Candy had his hand in the cookie jar a few times, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, and I put here, I'm sure he was part of the molestation crew. All these celebrities, right? And I say here, fucking Trump was in Home Alone 2, and it's like, come on, man, all these creepy assholes in the same movies together, like, come on, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Let's see. Only the Lonely. Oh, that John Candy movie. Okay, let me scroll. A lot of movies, undertones. Where did I talk about my sister again? All right, I'm reading off here. As if I'm not already black-pilled enough. As if I'm not already black-pilled enough. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it was about seeing that former classmate of mine get divorced from that chick. Like I said, not surprising, but holy fuck. Shit is there in plain sight and repeating patterns. All these idiots worshiping women. And I'm sure there's another part of the holy trinity of pathetic men, the schlubby hubby, Uncle Buckham. There's probably a third we'll discover. Kirk says probably the Palace Guard of simps, just going online to defend men. And oh yeah, White Knight was a term people used. Oh yeah, the White Knights. I got a really good example of that actually. Let's do it now before I forget, because I will forget. Fuck it. This is gonna be a variety show. Okay. This was recommended to me. It's kind of stupid. Uh, some AI shit. Let's go over this.
You know, we touched on something earlier about boys being raised in certain female-dominated families, or where the father isn't. He's been ruled out of the child's lives,
Yeah.
and a girl, a boy or a girl, and that doesn't matter. It's the quality, the character of the person raising them, regardless if it's a man, a father, or a woman, mother.
So this man right here is part of the trinity of Uncle Buck, Schlubby Hubby, and I guess now we have. I guess a White Knight would be pretty appropriate, right? Somebody who always has to defend women no matter what. Like it's kind of like with dogs, like defend all puppers no matter what. And I know it's weird that I'm bringing that up, but it's fucking there, man.
It's their character and where we've gone wrong in society. And that doesn't matter. It's the quality, the character of the person raising them.
The thing is, it does fucking matter, dude, because having a father in the home in the picture is very, very important, and you can't just replace the father with a strong mother figure or a strong uncle or whatever this fucking dude probably thinks.
Regardless if it's a man, a father, or a woman, mother. It's their character. And where we've gone wrong in society, not only have we placed more children in the care of women, of mothers, those mothers are inundated with prejudice from feminists and even some of the chivalrous thinking people. And this
Like
is
you,
combined to make men even worse in the lights in others, their image, and but yet we have these tradcons saying stuff like, "Oh, well, these men are weak because they've been raised by women and all
Yes.
this crap." Well, that's garbage because these women have been bad women. They have been influenced by
So
feminism.
show me a
You
good
go
woman.
back in the
That would be my question to him. Name a good woman. Show me a good woman. He mentioned.
day to good women
Let's let him finish.
who like were their husbands were killed in war or on in an occupation.
Uh huh.
They raised good boys.
No, they didn't. Okay, let's get into this. Comment here. There was never good women. That's a romanticization of the past. Women who began taking over jobs during World War II didn't make them automatically good women. They were good to be. They were if they were good to begin with. Wouldn't there be a legacy of strong men led by the working women of World War II? Raising strong boys into men has everything to do with having their fathers in the lives. This man is full of trash propaganda. So he's kind of hard to follow a little bit. And Kirk had mentioned this that he changed. Well, I mentioned this. He changed the subject at least 2 times. But this little man right here, his brain's full of mush from feminist propaganda. He may not even realize it because he can't outright say the problem is with mothers. He has to jump through all these mental gymnastics to justify why there are bad women out there, right? And making the argument of, during war, there's good women. It doesn't automatically make them good because their husbands died in a war. That's not true at all. Like, well, what kind of fucking idiot are you to even think that? That's crazy to me. Let's rewind it. Let's do it again.
You know, we touched on something earlier about
And I think she's cowardly for not bringing this up because she's usually a little bit more vocal. And this is bullshit, whatever this little man's saying. And she's usually on point when it comes to calling out nonsense, and she's not doing it. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I think this is an interview. I'm not sure actually.
boys being raised in certain female-dominated families, or where the father isn't. He's been ruled out of the child's lives,
Yeah.
and a girl, a boy or a girl, and that doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It's the quality of the
Oh, that doesn't matter. I like how he just immediately sweeps it under the rug. Boys and girls being raised in a female-dominated family hierarchy, whether it be grandmas, the mother, or the aunts, and usually a combination of all three. And he doesn't see a problem with that because it's the character. Oh, that's it. I figured it out. It's the character of the woman. Oh, don't you see?
a
Suck
man,
my dick.
a father, or a woman, mother. It's their character. And where we've gone wrong in society, not only have we
Personally, where we're going wrong right now is motherfuckers like this right here who are making excuses. Non-stop laundry list of excuses, excuses, excuses.
placed more children in the care of women, of mothers, those mothers are inundated with prejudice from feminists
Now that is true.
and even some of the chivalrous thinking people.
Those are
And
feminists.
this
The chivalrous thinking people like this dude right here, this little man right here, he's a feminist. He may not realize it, but he is.
is combined to make
Because he has to dial it back, right, and go, not all women. That's a simp. That's a feminist. That's a male feminist. That's male feminist behavior.
men even worse in the lights in others, their image. And but yet we have these
It's all
worse,
about their character, right?
and this is combined.
So it's all about women's character, and women, and I'm sorry, boys emulate the adults in their life, so they're raised by nothing but good women, quote unquote. You somehow think that's still gonna work?
To make men even
This
worse
is a clusterfuck.
in the lights in others, their image. And but yet we have these
That was a full video here.
tradcons
Uh-huh.
saying stuff like,
See?
"Oh, well,
Tradcon, and then he has to like make fun of him, right? And go, oh, it's
these
fucking what a
men are
twisted little
weak
man.
because they've been raised by women and all this crap." Well,
That's enough of that. Let's look at the actual interview. We believe men only want one thing. It's just physical. I was shocked to learn the truth. This is from a month ago. Let's see. Oh, because it was an interview. Oh my god. I'm not gonna watch this right now, but I want to. Who the fuck is this little man? I'm gonna have to go over that sometime and watch it separately from this video, but that's crazy.
It's just it's awful. And the
What's the most watched? Let's see. I guess it's not gonna show it. You know what? RNG. Fuck it. Close my eyes. Right there. Play.
So the women, they do love men, and they have returning customers, repeat customers as a result. And many of these men they become attached to them, and that's why they have returning customers. In fact, you'll see the same thing on OnlyFans to some extent.
Mhm.
They can't have that physical touch, but they
So this isn't. Let me talk to this guy. I'll grill him. I don't know if she grills him or not, but she does a lot of nodding
get
and
the
agreeing.
expression and that sensation of their
Looks
bodies
like one of my
and
uncles.
the expressions of not only their bodies but their personalities.
Who's this
They
dude?
get attached to their personalities,
The
and it sounds,
relationship.
yeah, it is a type of relationship,
Minty
and
Yeah.
quality.
it's sad. It's sad
It
as
is
heck,
very sad. It's
Oh
but it's
wow.
sad.
there.
He's only got 56 subscribers. What the fuck? That's kind of crazy. I could probably legit set up an interview with this dude since his sub count is so low. I wonder if he'd be willing to.
And it also
And I would have a conversation, right? I wouldn't dog on him or anything.
says so much about men. I think a lot of times women will look at it and say, "Oh my God, he's so disgusting. He looks at OnlyFans and la la la." And I'm like, can we look at it a different way for just 1 second? Let's look at it as, let's realize he could just look at just regular porn. He could. Why is he choosing OnlyFans? Because he is looking for that relationship. What are we always saying about men? We are saying, oh, they don't care about relationship. They just want sex. They don't want. Well, if that's
Yes.
true, then OnlyFans wouldn't have become as popular as it is.
No,
Men, at
no,
the end of the day, as what you're saying with the history of it,
they're totally equals. They're both vulnerable to each other at that point.
yeah. Yes.
And a man,
No, that's enough of this. I'll listen to this some other time. Just skip it for now. Yeah, go check this dude out. He's written books. Alan Lee Millard. Other chick I just looked at was Far From Eden. Yeah, fuck it, promote him. Be all right. Promote him. Far From Eden. And this little dude, Alan
and
Lee
a man
Millard. Milliard or Millard. Yeah, Millard. 56 subs. That's kind of crazy, man. Jesus. 8 years ago. Truth About Men's Equality. Oh, okay, so he's an author. Get your name out there, brother. What's wrong with you? How do you only have 56 subs? Anyway, let's keep going with this Discord thingy. All right. Friendzone simped energy. Let's get back into it. I don't know if what did we talk about after this? I talked about my sister. Let's oops. Let's look that up. Okay, let's jump to here. Um, so here I put I'm sure my sister was contacting me just for that. What did he put it before that? Friend zone and Dune is like the female version of prepping. Oh yeah, friend zone and dudes. So, oh god. Sort of man they think they want, or something at least around. Okay, the sort of man they think they want, or something, or at least keep around as a backup provider. So that's basically the friend zone, like a friend zone dude for women. And when I say friend zone, I don't mean male friends because I think girls can have male friends as long as like the guy's not a weird romantic interest kind of person. Like, I don't know. It's like, but to me, like I said here, I said I'm sure my sister was contacting me just for that under the guise of I just want to get to know your family. Um, Kirk says there's always a bullshit reason. So Kirk, equal, how do I say it? Kirk compared it to MREs, was a meal ready eats, meal ready meals or whatever they're called. Meal ready to eat, that's what it's called. In the military, where it's like a girl is just has like 2 or 3 guy friends that she can have as a backup provider, in case something goes wrong. And it's like the female version of prepping, because females are all about social connections, right? Um, so yeah, that's the female version of prepping, is having these dudes as a backup. And when my sister contacted me, just to tell the story again, a little bit after my mother died, my half sister, one of my half sisters, contacted me and tried to, basically try to get me to talk to her, right? Trying to guilt me, not really guilt me, but getting emotional about it. It's like, oh, I don't even know your family, and it's been so long, and your mother's gone, and made me realize, blah blah blah, that I don't even know my brother and all that nonsense. And she tried to contact me at least twice after that Facebook message, and I ignored her the first time because I didn't want drama. Because I looked at her Facebook page for like 10 minutes and kind of had an idea of what she was about. She had 0 pictures of a guy in her life or even a husband or anything in her life, just surrounded by her sons, and every picture, a picture of her mother every now and then hanging out with her. It's like, I don't want that energy, okay? I don't want anything to do with your life. I just ignored her. So, um, she ended up getting my phone number from my aunt, because my aunt, my tia Cristina, is a idiot. She gave my number away, so she tried to call me, and she left a voicemail, basically gave me the same spiel, the same shit. And then I ignored that, and then, like, I want to say like 2 months later, my brother called me, which is her brother, right? Her brother, my brother. So he's the Uncle Buck motherfucker, right? In her life, just to give you context of how he's probably related to her. He's the uncle in her nephew's lives, right? Whatever the fuck that means. Um, and that's the way she has it set up, to where she's got this big old network of people, of family members who can take care of her and her children, right? Because that's the way women operate. That's the way they think. So she was trying to hook me into that dichotomy, of that dynamic, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Okay, I'm not stupid. I knew exactly what was going on. So he, my brother, right, my half brother, older. These guys are older. Okay, these dudes are in their 60s, because my father had them at a very young age. He ended up getting divorced from that crazy bitch he married. Then he married another crazy bitch, which happened to be my mother. That crazy bitch. So right before my mother died, they were all intermingling, right, and all that, getting to know each other. And really, this bitch was probably trying to hook in my mother so she could get to me. Fuck her, all right? Fuck her for doing that, because that's manipulative. I don't appreciate that. But so, like, a few months later, after she tried to call me and left a voicemail, I've told this story before. So he calls me, and I could tell they're like at a football game or something, because I could hear racket in the background. It sounded like they're in a parking lot, a busy parking lot, like at a football game. He's calling me up, saying the same shit about how my sister wants to get to know me. He had, how do I put this, man? This is so specific. The tone of his voice. He sounded like he only did it to shut her up, as a, like, let me call him just so she'll shut the fuck up about it, because it's getting on my nerves, kind of deal. When he's probably telling her, like, look, he probably wants nothing to do with you. Just let it go, right? Like, simple. Like, guys are simple. If he's anything like me, because he is my blood, right? If he's anything like me or my father, he was probably just telling her, look, he's got his family, he's focusing on his life, he probably just wants nothing to do with you. Just deal with it. Like, fucking deal with it. So that was the tone I got in that voicemail, and I wish I had saved it. I didn't save it, but silly me. So just to give some background to that, I haven't contacted her. It's been 5 years since I heard from her and her brother, and I don't give a fuck. A part of me, like a small part of me, very small part of me, wants to start shit, in a sense that I would just destroy their view of me, whatever they think about me, like whatever imaginary Looney Tunes character in their head they have about me, I want to destroy it. That's the only curious part in the back of my mind. That's a little demon in my head that wants to, like little chaotic man, the little chaos man inside of me wants to come out and destroy that worldview, if you know what I mean. Like that's the only way I would ever contact her is to destroy this fucking worldly image she has of me. Cause fuck her. Anyway, um, let's see here. Yeah, Kirk makes a good point here. He says, there's always a bullshit reason just try to disguise the actual intent. And if you put them on a lie detector, they probably would actually believe that themselves. Like, yeah, that's true. Like, she probably really, really thinks in her heart of hearts that she wants to get to know her brother and his family, right? But no, that's not the reason at all. You're full of shit, lady. If you were honest, if you were a real Christian and honest with yourself, you would fucking know that. So Kirk asked me, what's the difference between a schlubby hubby and Uncle Buck in this sense? And I basically broke down what an Uncle Buck is. Uncle Buck will be part of the family's, part of the female social network, usually a brother, hence uncle, because the husband father isn't around, so they pick up the slack that the father would normally take, all under the pretense of being an uncle to my nieces slash nephews. And there's going to be some underlying guilt around it. My poor sister needs help or some shit. Schlubby Hubby's pretty obvious, I think. Uncle Buck is a quintessential male figure in the child's life when the father is absent, which society just accepts as good enough and goes back to the download of it takes a tribe to raise a child. So the Uncle Buck is basically what that brother is that I just talked about that gave me a phone call, right? He's the Uncle Buck who picks up the slack for all these stupid men that she dumped and all these dumb kids that she has now. I don't know if she hooked up with one man, okay? I really don't know. Um, Kirk says we'll have to make a chart on these at some point. Yeah, yeah, we really should. I'll go ahead and move on from there. Start calling Uncle Buck recently. Let's see. And I say here, I started calling it Uncle Buck recently. I think it's fitting. John Candy isn't good enough to be a romantic lead, but good enough to be the friendly uncle who can take care of the kids while his sister works. And yeah, that's exactly what Uncle Buck is. That's the Uncle Buck trope. That's the opposite of the Kevin James. Not the opposite, but it goes hand in hand with the Kevin James trope. Let's see here. Well, hey, Lucky. What you doing, little dude? There he is. He's a sweetie. Let's see. What else? So here... So here I said, sadly, it's in men to be that Uncle Buck trope because it isn't the children's fault, and deep down they know the sister is a whore loser. Kirk says, well, once again, men showing anima traits more than actual women. Yep, that's 100% true. And I say it's an attempt at course correction because men are leaders, and it really is inside of men to kind of take over that role. It's not necessarily that they're weak, but they are showing weakness, if that makes sense. Like they see that something's wrong and they want to fix it because men are fixers, men are leaders. So that's why the Uncle Buck thing is so prevalent and kind of in the same vein the schlubby hubby thing. Not even, no, I take it back actually. Schlubby hubby thing, it's just weakness. Schlubby hubby thing's just patheticness. There's no leadership in that at all. I would put Uncle Buck, if I were to make a tier list, like schlubby hubby's down here, Uncle Buck probably way up here because it's a little more manly side, a little more on the leader side is the Uncle Buck trope. Anyway, I think that covers that. Yeah, me and Kirk were talking about that. Really good conversation. Him and I have really good conversations, man. When we have our podcasts, that's part of the kind of the joke now is that we always regret not getting into our pin messages because we talk about so much interesting shit that's just so prevalent to what's going on in society, right? Not just metaphysics, how the reality works, but more along the lines of the social aspects of what's going on in the society. And to me, the social aspects are the metaphysics. They are the spiritual. So to me, they're hand in hand, right? So, goodness gracious, what can we go over? I don't know if I want to go over that dude's. I think I have it on my watch later list. Yeah, Legion of Men dude talks about. Okay, I guess I could go over some of it just to see the download in action. Let's see. Marriage left me homeless. What was it I wanted to talk about? Let me pause it. All right, so let's go over this. So this man, Legion of Men, responded to Snooks's video about the opposite of addiction is family, and I don't know if this guy's watching me, but in a lot of my videos I kind of say the same shit, but he has a gross misunderstanding about what it means to forgive your parents, because he seems to think that from the overall encompassing point of his was that when he forgave his parents, or when he's starting to forgive his parents, right, which is great, he started to socialize more with them. So he associated the socializing with the healing, right? He started healing as he was forgiving, right? He started associating the socializing with the healing, and it's not the socializing that's healing you, right? And I don't know what's really going on in this dude's mind, but I'm gonna I'm gonna take him at his word that he's spiritually healing because of this hey Bucky, you all see him, because of this forgiveness that he's going through or whatever. And like I said, I have to take his word for it. But it's not the socializing part that's healing him, it's the forgiveness part that's healing him. But he's confusing the two. But I'm going to go over this guy first because I want to show y'all's reaction to a certain thing. I'm not going to give it away.
I'm doing
It's a
this.
Skyrim
That's
poster.
a lie. I know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
that's Skyrim.
see, you see that? Did you see how how a man corrected himself? Right? The bull.
Right off the bat, it's really stupid, okay? I don't know why. I guess this guy's a red pilled guy, I really don't know, but he's already immediately throwing in this man versus woman thing, which is like, what? Like, who's talking about that? Like, I bring it up when it's relevant. This dude's bringing it up for no reason.
See, you see that? Did you see how how a man corrected himself? Right? The bullshit detector does not allow him. You see how quick we started a video? We are 11 seconds in. The man said a lie. I don't know why I'm doing this. Male brain. Never mind. I know exactly why I'm making this video. A woman could never, never.
Golly, even I don't do shit like that just out of the nowhere. It's like, I am not. So this is the same. How do I put this? This guy. So guys like this, right? I'm not like this, okay? So dudes like this, these red pill dudes. I don't know if he's red pill or MGTOW or whatever, but you know the whole believe all women thing. There are certain dudes, especially this guy, probably operates under the pretense of believe all men, right? And to me, that's dangerous. It's just as dangerous as believe all women. Don't believe anybody, all right? Human beings are full of shit. They're full of poo-poo. They're evil. They're wicked. They're full of envy, strife, and jealousy. Do not trust human beings. Period. But we'll try to get along with them, right? Let's keep going. I made my point with that.
Ability.
Because I feel helpless.
Okay.
And
Beat him up.
there's a kind
bit.
of power in talking about problems.
All right.
And I'm also kind of narcissistic, so I want to share it with all of you.
Fuck.
You're not narcissistic, dude.
He's real. Do you hear that?
If you're a narcissist, the last thing you're going to do is admit you're a narcissist. That's the rule. He's just throwing out stupid little fucking psychological buzzwords just so everybody in the audience is like, "Oh my god, he's so real." This is
I
exactly
recently
what
made a
happens.
decision to stop smoking in my live streams
Here we go.
because I think it's immoral.
Here it
A lot of
comes.
the people watching
Oh
them,
my god. Oh my god. This is the perfect episode after the Piers one. The man has a duty, a responsibility. Do you hear this? I'm going to stop smoking on my live streams because it's immoral. A woman would never, bro, ever.
Again with the
Ah,
woman thing.
shit.
It's so weird.
I told you men are built different. You can't. This is why.
they're gaming.
And it's funny because I've watched a few stream of his, and everybody in his stream chat is trying to get him to smoke. So it's like everyone's just out for destruction, man. The people in his live stream have zero love. They have absolutely zero respect. And he's kind of popular now. Yeah, 21,000 subs. I mean, that video in itself. Oh, he's streaming now. Pissed off my coworker. Maybe I'll watch that sometime. I'm not subbed to him. I don't care. I have a suspicion he subbed to me. So yeah, that video. No, that's the opposite. Yeah, this one. This one got 22,000. The one where he blew up actually got 500,000, which is kind of nutty. He's streaming right now, huh? Which one? Diablo 2?
Well, they can help your credit score and all that. But if you're not, that shit,
This is live chat.
it's like playing with fire. I would say, you know what my advice to you is, as a 22-year-old, whatever? Learn how money works. Learn how debt
He's
works.
giving his life advice.
Learn how interest works. Learn how inflation works.
Oh,
Learn how
God.
investments work.
He bought the remake. I would not buy that shit. I would pirate it at best, and even then, I would just end up downloading the original. I have the original actually, and it runs on Windows 11.
Learn all that stuff. That's probably the most important skill set.
I'm reading the chat.
Knowledge base you could pick up as a young person. Take financial courses and all that. Watch financial YouTubers. Stuff like that.
Just don't buy outside of your means, man. It ain't that difficult. That's my financial
We live in
advice.
a hyper financialized world, and if you don't know how to navigate it, it'll consume you. You mortgage your future for present pleasures. Not good.
We're talking about weed in the chat. Weed and coffee.
Overburdened.
Smoking, smoking emojis, cigarette
What is this
emojis.
inventory.
Yeah. How do I pop this back? I think you just exit.
I don't need this. This is
Yeah, that does
useless.
it. Anyway, let's keep going. Not that.
Live streams. A lot of people watching them are kids, so I think it's
Wow.
Oh wait, so this is the 35-year-old loser video. I thought it was. I guess I'll go over this a little bit in a minute.
How? You see, he's thinking beyond himself. Women could never, dude. This man is on another level of morality.
I guess he's a
This
red
is
pill
why.
guy.
This is why universal suffrage was a fucking mistake.
moral to smoke while you're doing that in front of those people. But I'm not going to push this out to my subs, so.
What a gangster.
And I'm still smoking. And if I'm going to do something like this, there's just no way I can do it without smoking. So if you're a kid, let this be the first lesson. Don't smoke. I don't know what's going to happen to me 10 to 15 years from now.
Wow.
Statistically speaking, it's not looking good, but hopefully I quit very soon. It's on my list of things to do. But I apologize
More power
for
to the dude.
doing this, but I'm weak and I need to do it if I'm going to do what I want to do here.
Fuck, bro. We're real. This guy is dope as
Probably
fuck.
smoke 10 of them before this is over.
Okay.
So I am a 35-year-old loser,
So
And but I apologize
More power
for
to the
even
dude.
doing this, but I'm weak
I just wanted
and
to show
I need
this
to do it
part.
if I'm going to do what I want to do here.
look at him.
Fuck, bro. We're real.
We're real. He lit up a cigarette, man. He's real. He must be real. He's a real man, right? Look at him. Look at this guy. You get excited over a man smoking like this? This is disgusting. His house probably smells like fucking garbage. It's crazy to see this. It's crazy to witness this in real time. A grown-ass man, just like his chat does. This guy's chat, Snooks' chat, and gets excited when he lights a cigarette. Going crazy, like Billy said it best in one of his videos where their heads just explode. Oh my god, he lit a cigarette! He's real! He said exactly what Billy says, man. That's so crazy.
And I need to do it if I'm going to do what I want to do here.
Fuck, bro. We're real. This guy is dope as
Probably
fuck.
smoke 10 of
I don't know what being. I'm gonna read my fucking comment because I'm speechless. This sudden attention and popularity would eventually lead to a burnout and a far more intense psychological meltdown than the self-proclamation of how I'm a loser while lighting up a cigarette. There is zero discipline to keep up this lifestyle and relying on strangers on the internet for clout and donations, because that is what this is leading to. You're basically cheering on the destruction instead of being honest with them. There's nothing real about this behavior, just another mask for attention. Yeah, that pretty much sums up what I wanted to say about that. And I don't think I've bothered to watch anything else because I'm not interested in this dude. I don't know if I want to go over this other guy. Because it's fucking 30 minutes. You know what?
Okay, we're back. Told you I'd
1.25.
have a second video today, and
1.25.
God damn it, I'm doing it. I'm actually kind of nervous about this one. It's a little
Actually, make me use the bathroom and grab a drink. I'll be right back. There's Lucky up there. By the way, there he is. He's a cutie. Yep. Don't claw my chair. Bad, bad boy. Look how cute he is. He's the cutest little cinnamon roll. Anyway, so let's go over. So playing at 1.25 will essentially make it probably a 27-minute video, something like that. I don't know if I want to go through the whole thing. Let's just play it.
A bit more
see how I feel about it.
real than the last one. This one's a little bit more cerebral, so I feel like there's more pressure.
We'll fast forward a bit.
And these are those gummies that you can basically buy anywhere. Like, I don't even think they're regulated, or they're regulated, but like you can buy them even in states where it's illegal. They're those like relaxation gummies that have like a ton of CBD and a little bit of THC. But if you eat enough of those in one sitting, you're going to get high. The highest I've like ever been was when I ate like 7 of them at once, and that was a few months ago. Like 6 months ago.
So this constitutes as real to a lot of people, where he's just talking about his neuroses, right? Talking about his addictions. And I don't know, fair enough, I guess. I mean, it's nice to have someone so open about their neuroses, but at the same time, it's like he's just talking about what normies do, man. Like, this isn't abnormal. This isn't beyond the pale. If anything, motherfuckers like me are beyond the pale, who don't do this bullshit, who don't feel that social pressure to do this kind of shit.
And recently, before I had that mental breakdown, or I kind of precipitated the mental breakdown, honestly. I took a bunch of them because I was out of weed because I'm broke, but there were some of those lying around, so I took a bunch of those.
I mean, you can buy like ashwagandha gummies for like probably $10 for like 60 of them. And I only know this because I work at a pharmacy, so it's not difficult to get your hands on stuff. Like, you can probably pop 10 of those more than likely. I don't know for real, and I'm not advocating this. Okay? You could probably pop about 10 of those and may more or less probably get the same effect, the same relaxation effect. And I wouldn't recommend it if you're on like blood pressure medication or something. But that's besides the point. You went out, Lucky? I think Lucky what's out. Let me let him out. All right, I'm back. And I'm here to be real with y'all. I'm down to half a pack a day. Told myself I was gonna quit. I've been keeping this from y'all. Let's continue.
And I got too high. And I don't know if you've ever done weed before, but when you get too high from weed, it's very uncomfortable, and it's very self-examining and introspective, and you do like an inventory on all your mistakes and your life generally up until that point. And I was having one of those experiences. And my mom was asleep in her bedroom, and I was out in the kitchen, like pacing, having a panic attack, kind of like I am right now, honestly. I don't know why I'm nervous to talk about this. The last video I did on my work week was nothing like this, and right now I'm kind of pent up a little bit. Could be the coffee I'm drinking. So I was in the kitchen pacing around, freaking out, while also dealing with all of the existential stuff of being unemployed, realizing I don't have much in the way of marketable skills that I could get a good job with, realizing I was going to have to work retail or something like that for probably several years, and the horror of that reality setting in was hitting me while I was tripping on these weed gummies. And I was breaking down psychologically, and I was having a really difficult experience. And this almost feels like poetic, and that's why it almost feels like it's not my bottom, because like it almost feels like I'm ascribing meaning to it that maybe wasn't there, but it really did feel like it. I went down into the basement. And it felt like I literally hit my bottom in my basement, which is kind of crazy to think about, really. And I just realized that I had run out of, I couldn't keep running anymore. You know, my whole life I've been running from responsibility, from work, from adulthood. And I've been using drugs, pornography, food as a means of escape from the responsibilities of living. And I was having this THC-induced panic attack in my basement, and I realized I can't run anymore. The road has run out. We're hitting We're hitting a brick wall here. I can no longer run. And in that moment, I was thinking, well, maybe I should go to a meeting of some kind, AA or NA or some kind of recovery meeting, group meeting thing. And I was thinking in that moment, like, you know, what are meetings? Why do alcoholics go to Alcoholics Anonymous? Why do drug addicts go to these meetings? What are they getting out of it? What function?
Just to be honest. Alright, I guess I'll get started on this bullshit. I got my my regalia on. I put my new gifts up too. Fuck it, let's get into it.
Serve. And I realized that the function that these recovery meetings serve is they're simply getting people to talk to other people. They're getting people to, I'm shaking right now, I'm so nervous, this is so weird. It's getting people to interact with other human beings, and especially other human beings who are going through similar things. And it kind of just hit me like a truck that I think,
yeah, he's
I don't
live
know this
streaming.
because I'm not like a scholar of addiction or anything.
He is streaming Diablo 2 remake. That clusterfuck. It's like, dude, you spent money on that garbage.
Cringe Kev the Gamer Cat sends 5 soy bucks. Found fun for Lies of Pierce. I already have
It
Lies
looks
of Pierce.
so... I don't know how to explain it. I've talked about remasters before and how they look like they're rubbed in grease or like they're rubbed in Vaseline, and this is this is the impression I'm getting. Where it's just way too sterile. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I gotta play it. I'm gonna do that on stream.
Alright, that's enough of that.
Thing. But based on my own personal experiences and my analysis of like what meetings do, what function do they serve, what's the purpose of them, I think
AI upskilling probably has a lot to do with
the root cause of addiction. And again, I'm just a guy. I don't know if this is true or not, but it is the vibe that I'm feeling. That the root cause of addiction, the central, essential cause of addiction is a lack of meaningful human connection.
Nope.
Addicts are often isolated from a very early age, alienated and neglected by their parents.
See, I was actually explaining this on the recording I was doing a while ago, where he's associating the lack of how did he put it? Let me rewind it.
Very early. Addicts are often isolated from a very early age.
He's associating the isolation with the addiction, which, yeah, that's kind of true, but it's more to do with the parental neglect. But throughout this whole video, he associates that with the lack of social connections, right? Because around the time he started talking to his mother and father more and kind of reconnecting with them and healing with them, I call it healing, he started like getting over these neuroses and these addictions. But it's the spiritual healing that's causing him to get over these neuroses and these addictions, not necessarily the social aspect of it. And that's where he's getting it wrong.
Alienated and neglected by their parents. And they don't have the kind of social support system that human beings need to function. And as a result of that, they feel traumatized by the lack of human connection. And when they take the drugs, it crowds out that.
That's like I said, that's only a part of it. That's not the whole story.
That anxiety, that malaise that comes from being socially isolated.
And I'm talking from experience here.
Not having strong familial bonds. And it just kind of hit me. It just hit me like that is my problem. And that's why I'm an addict. Is that I really don't have any strong relationships with anybody. And what relationships I do have, I'm actively sabotaging through my addictions and my running from living. And in that moment, like when I had this kind of realization, I immediately got hit with this wave of desire to fix my relationships.
Seeking the Father.
My parents, with my siblings. I have 2 half sisters,
Oh, here we go.
and each of my sisters has a son. So
Yeah.
I have 2 nephews.
Uncle
And
Buck.
this is a shameful thing to admit, but I have not been present in their lives basically at all. When they were like kids, like 7, 8 years old, I was less fucked up than I am now, or I have been. Much less isolated back then. Still pretty bad, but I still had some kind of relationship with my sisters. So like, my dad would come up. He lives in Florida. He would come up, and I'd visit my sisters with my dad, and I would see them. I didn't interact with them much, but you interact with them a little bit.
So this crap that he's talking about with his sisters and her children is the Uncle Buck trope, or the Uncle Buck syndrome that I've talked about. Kind of the Uncle Buck programming, which to me is at the very least, it's a little bit more on the manlier side than the schlubby hubby, or the simp. But he feels compelled to get to know his nephews and nieces or whatever because of the programming, right? The societal programming, where it's like, oh, you need to go out there and be an uncle to your nieces and nephews, whatever that means. More than likely, his sister probably doesn't have the father in their lives. They got kicked out of the nest. He got kicked out of the nest, right? So she has her little social network. She will be more than glad to take this motherfucker in under her under her social network, just because he's full of guilt, right? And this is the way you don't do it, because he's full of guilt. Rather than it being natural for the light in him to come out, he feels a guilt. So it's not going to work just because he has that guilt associated with wanting to be this uncle, a Superman uncle, whatever the fuck he thinks it is. He's full of blown conformists, so of course. Oh, he's full blown conformist, so of course. I got a period there. Let me get rid of that. Most important relationship is the one with yourself. Yeah, 100%.
And I realized, like, I should be involved in these kids' lives.
No, you shouldn't.
I should play a role.
Not
as
in
their uncle.
not in this spirit, this kind of guilt-ridden spirit of what he thinks he needs to do, because he has no idea what he needs to do. All right.
And I knew that if I did that, I would be much better off for it. My life would be much better for it. I'll admit I don't want to do it because it's hard and I don't know how to do it. It's scary. And even now, like, I don't want to do it, and I don't plan on doing it until I'm a little bit more stable and together.
Whatever that means.
But it is something I want to do.
See all this stuff he talks about, and I'm not shitting on him for it, to be honest, because a lot of people don't know what they're talking about either when they say things like this. He has no clue what he wants yet. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's associating this healing, this spiritual healing that he has with his parents, with he's confusing it with the social aspect, which it doesn't have anything to do with the social aspect, because you can heal from your family trauma with not ever bothering to get to know them. You can tell them to fuck off. You'll still heal from that trauma as long as you have a good relationship with that inner light. I should do this, yeah. Let's just show you my pack of ciggies.
And I have made, I'm literally shaking. This is kind of crazy. I have made an effort to improve relations with my parents.
Yep. I should comes from the guilt and B is societal expectations, i.e. the programming. Yeah, 100% Kirk. You nailed it, buddy.
Ever since this whole thing happened, I've been trying to be
I'm really preaching to the choir
more present
here.
and nicer with my mom. Try to have a more positive relationship with her, because we've had a strained relationship for a long time.
Yeah, I bet you did.
So I've been spending more time with her, less isolated in my room, more time out there with her, talking to her and stuff. Not as much as I should. I do need to get better at that, but and admittedly, it's kind of waned a little bit.
You're not
since
her
that initial
husband.
week, but it has still been better than usual.
Turn this up.
And I've also been connecting a lot more with my dad. My dad and I, we don't really talk that much. We would always make these plans to do calls, and then they would always fall through.
Oh.
I would always neglect it. I would just, we'd say, oh, we'll do a call this week, and then the call happens a month later, kind of thing. And we
So his father isn't in the house. That's lovely.
would maybe talk a few times a year. And since
I was sitting here thinking that they were living in the same house. Fucking silly me. I should know better by this point.
I hit my bottom, what I think was my bottom, we've been making an
Holy
effort to do a
fuck,
call
man.
every week, and so far we've been sticking to that. Now that I'm working, the schedule's kind of messing it up a little bit, but we're working around it, and we've been doing a call every week, 30 minutes to an hour.
So that's where the real healing's coming from, in my opinion. He I mean, this is just me, right? I don't know the guy. But if I were to just take a guess, this talking to his father thing really is what's causing the healing, if there's healing at all, right? He could be full of shit. But, like I said, from my experience with myself and with others, that the healing truly does come from the father, you know? But like I said, he's confusing the social aspect with it, unfortunately. Kirk says, "Oh God, a fucking course, father never there physically." I don't know. It's not funny, but it is.
And it's been good. You know, it has definitely improved my situation. I've been fapping way less since I hit my bottom. That is definitely something I've discovered, is that my dependence on pornography has gone down significantly since I've been trying to make a little bit of effort to connect with my parents more. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I really don't.
Oh my God, how much more is left?
And kind of related to this, when I had that experience of, I had the thought, like, the opposite of addiction is meaningful human connection. That is the word. Those are the words that entered my mind. And I Googled that. I Googled the opposite of addiction is connection, just to research it and see if anyone else has discovered this. And I found a TED talk by this guy named Johan Hari, I think is his name, where he basically talks about this exact thing. He references an experiment with rats that was done, I think it was in the 70s, I'm not exactly sure, where, like in the 50s, they did an experiment on rats where they gave them regular water and cocaine water, and they would just take the cocaine water until they died, basically. And that was used as like proof that addiction is just a physical dependence on a substance, right? But then this guy in the 70s, I think, switched it up a little bit. He realized that, well, that experiment was done with rats alone in a cage by themselves. So what would happen if you took those rats and instead of just isolating them alone in a cage, you put them in a healthy social environment? And he had this experiment with this thing that he called Rat Park, where the rats were
According to whose standards exactly?
large social groups, and they had all kinds of toys, and it was a stimulating environment with lots of social interaction. And in that experiment, supposedly, I haven't like researched the experiment to see if it was legit or not, but that's what the guy talked about. Supposedly in this experiment, when the rats were in a group of rats and they had recreational activities to engage in, they basically did not touch the cocaine water at all. They were having lots of sex, they were
Cocaine water.
socializing, and they weren't using the drug water.
There's something
They would
funny
use it like
about
a
that.
little bit, but barely at all. And in the previous experiment, it was like 100% overdose death rate. And in the Rat Park experiment, it was like 0%. So this Johan Hari guy contends that this proves that at least a significant part of addiction stems from social isolation. I'll put a link in the description with that TED Talk if you want to check it out.
Oh, did he put it
And
there?
I think, based on my own experiences
Oh, he did. It is Johan Hari.
with my life,
Okay.
I think in my own little kind of rock bottom.
Let's see here. Oh, okay. That's what I thought it was. I'd have to go over that some other time. What's this part?
Isolated cage and a whole lot less like Rat Park. But if I'm honest, this isn't why I went into it, right? I didn't go in to discover the political stuff, the social stuff. I wanted to know how to help the people I love. And when I came back from this long journey and I'd learned
Can't
all
help
this,
anybody.
I looked at the addicts in my life, and if you're really candid, it's
You don't know
hard
why
being an
though?
addict.
Why I say that? Because when the moment you help them, let's say they get better, for instance, let's say this little dude's research really does help his family, right? The minute something goes wrong in their lives, they're gonna blame him. They got a new scapegoat, they got a new scarecrow, a new straw man to knock over in their lives, because these addicts are really just pathological people who make excuses their whole lives, right? And that's why you can't help anybody. Okay? I'm not saying don't help anybody. What I'm saying is, in reality, when you think you're doing good, you can't help people because you're gonna be the new black sheep. You're gonna be the new scarecrow, the new straw man. So even if this guy does help people in the short term, he's gonna get blamed eventually for their eventual, how do I put it? Their what's it called when you get addicted again? I don't remember the name. You know what I'm talking about? When they get re-addicted to the substance, the relapse. That's it. See, Kirk says, dude, dude really doesn't think the parents have any part of this, just social interactions. Even with strangers, doesn't matter in his mind here. Yeah, it really doesn't. Um, this is why I say you can't really help people. But you got people with they got their cross on their shoulder or whatever, their Bible in their back pocket, wanting to help people. Yeah, relapse, I got it. Um,
And there's going to be lots of people who know in this room you're angry a lot of the time. And I think one of the reasons why this debate is so charged is because it runs through the heart of each of us, right? Everyone has a bit of them that looks at an addict and thinks, I wish someone would just stop you.
it's not any,
And the kind of
it's not in anybody to help an addict, man. You can circumvent, like you can help with the symptoms of an addiction, but you can't truly help somebody. It has to come from within. And to be a cheesy Christian asshole, it's like God has it set up to where it's within everybody to overcome these addictions. Like this little guy right here, to give him credit, it is within him to overcome these addictions.
Bottom experience, TED Talk if you want to check it out. And I think, based on my own experiences with my life,
It's a cool
I
painting.
think in my own
Whatever that is. If it's an actual painting, I think it is. It's really cool. The light. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. It would be more skewed though if the light was inside. I know I'm being an art fag about this. If the light was inside going this way, the way they're kind of implying it to be, this light here would be more skewed in that direction.
little kind of rock bottom experience, I think it's true.
It's my
I really do.
my art fag brain for the day.
I think, all addicts come from trauma, whether it's positive abuse or
But it
simple
looks really
neglect.
good. I like
They
it.
come from a family system that does not have. Gabor Mate is another great psychologist on the subject, and he talks
I
about
don't
similar
care.
things that addicts lack. Where you come from a household where you're not given the kind of attention that you need as a child. And ever since women's liberation, and now there's no, rarely is there a parent in the home constantly. We all come from divorce, and we're all latchkey kids.
Ooh. He said it.
And I think that might largely explain
That's the secret word, the secret phrase for the day. Latchkey kid.
the rise of addiction in society. Is parents are not present. They're working more than ever. They're stressed. Even if they're around, they're stressed and tired, so they don't have the time and energy to raise you. And what does raise you mean? It means be around you. It means devote time and energy to developing you as a person, to teaching you about what it means to be a person, what it means to live.
Cool, man.
And I think, again, not a scientist, haven't done the double-blind placebo trials to prove it, but I truly believe that most, if not all, of addiction stems from social isolation in childhood that carries forward into adulthood. Because you were socially isolated as a child, you never really developed the bonding skills.
I will give him credit. I mean, to me, 90% of it is probably caused by mother neglect. but we're throwing both parents under the bus, right, for the sake of equality.
So then when you go into adulthood, you have a hard time forming sustained, meaningful relationships with other people. So now in adulthood, you're just as isolated, if not more, as when you were a kid. And the only way that you can cope with it is with these substances or behaviors that help you forget about how miserable your life is and about how lonely you are, I had a lot of friends in high school. I had a girlfriend in high school and post-high school, a couple of girlfriends. And it was pretty good back then, having friends. Definitely like the best times in my life were when I had a friend group and I had people in my life that I cared about and that I interacted with.
See, Kirk says, where is he getting this social isolation from? He literally mentioned the parents, but just glosses over that as a root. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I think deep down, a lot of people, this is a download, part of the download, okay, part of the programming, like Billy likes to say, it's like, they really they had the parents, right? Or the fuck? Thought I heard someone knocking. They had the mother right here, right? And they always squirm around the topic whenever it gets brought up. I may have to go check on that. Hold on, I'll be right back. Mute for a second. think my cats were just playing. Hey, Lucky. I don't know if he's gonna jump. Come here, Lucky. Anyway, oh yeah, I was saying about hey, Lucky. Skirting around the topic of the mother. um, and since the parents, you're talking about parents, the mother and father, right? So automatically talking about the mother, so they'll automatically start skirting around the issue of the parents. That's what I think. I think it's programming. I think it's a download, okay? Lucky, come here. He's chilling. He ran into my room. Alright.
I was still an addict back then. I was smoking tons of weed and doing all kinds of shit. But in terms of my happiness, it was strongest when I had friends. Kind of a family, you know?
Yeah, because the friends were the distraction from your shitty what's it called, family situation, your home situation. It's the same thing. It's the same level, like that stupid bitch from that I was talking about where the Gen Z is under attack. That same bitch was talking about that, where she was going to keggers and going to parties because her life, like her home life, was so miserable. It's the same bullshit. This little dude's life was so miserable that his friendships at high school were probably the only thing keeping him from going crazy. But like I said, he's associating that social interaction with this, whatever this shit is. Kirk says I've had friends I've had friends when I was younger, and they really don't solve anything. They just say that what I'm having trouble reading, and they really don't solve anything. As you said, they just act as a distraction. Yeah, exactly. Like, but I don't know, man. You get my point.
And
Lucky.
Since high school,
come here, man.
A lot of those friends, pretty much all of them, have deteriorated. Those relationships have deteriorated and gone away. Not because I have any problem with them. Like, I'm thinking of a couple of guys right now who I love and like would love to be friends with, but it's just you move away, you're no longer in school together. It just gets harder. People start growing up and having their own lives. It gets harder and harder. And since then, I've gone deeper into the addiction. It's gotten more intense, and the depression has gotten worse.
All the labels. Labels.
So
depression, anxiety, addiction.
I think if I'm gonna get out of this,
I have this.
addictive cycle. I have to put the effort into cultivating relationships, meaningful relationships with friends and family. And if you're someone who maybe doesn't have parents, maybe they're dead or whatever, or
Mama
it's
dead.
possible.
Come here.
Like there's kind of a part to this I actually forgot about until just now. It's very important to, I think, depending on your circumstances, I can't speak for everybody, but depending on your circumstances, I think it's very important to forgive your parents for what they did to you. Now, if they
that is true.
did
Why
some
is it
heinous
glitching
shit
out?
to you and they're complete psychopath to you. Now, important, did some.
Why is it doing that? What is the max headroom?
You and they're
Where's it
complete psychopaths. I get it. It's probably not possible to forgive them, but I get it.
Where is it?
Now, if
Right there. I guess it's his camera bugging out. I want to find it. What the fuck, man? Going frame by frame. There you go. Oh no. I don't need to see that. Yeah, max headroom. That's funny. Do you want out again, Lucky? I swear to God. Come here. Yeah, shut up. Don't talk to me that way.
Now, if they
come up here, man,
did some heinous shit to you and they're complete psychopaths, I get it. It's probably not possible to forgive them. But I still think even in that situation, it's important to put it to rest,
Jesus again.
Not let it drag you down. And if you do have parents who didn't fuck up that bad and you think you could have a relationship, you do love them, I think it is vitally important that you forgive them as best you can, as best as they deserve, I suppose, and try to rekindle a connection with them. Because, the child-parent relationship is the strongest bond that human beings have. And when that bond is broken or damaged,
no,
I think that's when you become an addict.
Wrong.
Because You know, the child-parent relationship is the strongest bond that human beings have.
Nope. Your strongest bond is with the inner light, which is the God's light. But this isn't a Christian video, okay? So this is so fucking loud. Alright. Yeah, OBS fucking had a stroke. It saved the video, thank God, which I'm pretty surprised, but that's good that it saved the video for me. But I was streaming anyway, so I guess I could have just ripped the video from there if I wanted to. It's a good thing I'm doing both. Alright, Kirk says, as I was saying, the dude fucking hates himself. That's why his most important relationship is not immediately with himself. Yeah, exactly. Like, you hate yourself so much that you can't even see the inner light, you know? That's basically what that is. I'm not sure what I was saying last, so we'll just keep going.
I think it is vitally important that you forgive them as best you can.
See, his actions also show his self-hate, i.e. addiction and hedonistic tendencies. Yep.
As best as 100%. They deserve, I suppose. And try to rekindle a connection with them. Because, you know, the child-parent relationship is the strongest bond that human beings have. And when that bond is broken or damaged, I think that's when you become an addict, honestly. Because that's how you model relationship.
I mean, it has the severance, but, you know, the severance with God does have a lot to do with the severance from the parents, because the father is supposed to be the light, right? So once you have that separation between you and your father, is when you start having that separation between you and God, and you can't connect with that inner light. So, in all honesty, I really do believe this dude, for what it's worth, is trying to reestablish that severance with God. But no one's around him to contextualize it that way. You know, all the idiots in his chat, I talked about this earlier in a previous video actually, all these idiots in his chat are egging him on to smoke on stream and all this shit, and they're not showing love, right? Obviously. I could show it right now and probably, let's see, pop out chat. Here we go. We're gonna see some cigarette emojis, or maybe not. But anyway, I was reading the chat earlier. Does anyone have a dog or cat? Shut up. I cried over Louis C.K. What's wrong with Louis C.K.? Did he die? C.K. equals Charlie Kirk. What is going on? This chat is fucking gay already. Talking about Sam Hyde, really? Cats and dogs. I have 2 cats. I had to put my dog down recently. Sucks, but she had a great life. Yeah, that's part of the problem, idiot. I went to get a dog, but I already have 2 cats. What the fuck? What kind of conversation's going on here? I have 1 dog and 1 cat. They're good friends, but they're work. Your cat isn't a work. Dude, your cat isn't work, man. Your dog probably's work. Let's be real. Cats are seen as feminine, but I love them anyway. Are they talking about dogs and cats? Or is he talking about dogs and cats? He's just running around the beginning area. Expand this a bit, since I'm leaning in more. Can't go 10 minutes without a smoke. You gonna play the game, bucko? What is he, a paladin? Yeah, it's a paladin. Rest in peace, Mongo's dog. Good riddance. Let me, I thought I hit live.
But I vibe with cats really
here we
well.
go. You're talking about dogs and cats. You vibe with cats, huh? I like Diablo 2.
I like cats. I like dogs too. I'm more of a cat person, but I'm, like I said before, I'm a cat person who prefers dogs.
What the fuck? The fuck does that
dogs
mean?
are smarter.
Okay, asshole.
But I vibe with cats really well. I'll get the
Was that a druid?
waypoint. There is one here,
I think
right?
that might be a druid.
I think so.
You don't have anything hotkey but
hope so.
potions. How can I tell?
Bro, what the fuck is up with these servers?
Anyway, let's see. Kirk says, seeing the tours that jump into Billy's live stream, it's not just bots. Most stream viewers just want to trauma dump and try to get reactions. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If I get what? If I want a dog, I'll just have kids. There's somebody who's kind of based. Dogs only bug me because they are so reliant on attention. Cats can take it or leave it. Yeah, I agree.
This is pathetic.
What class is this? I guess it's paladin. It looks like prayer hands.
I can't carry anymore.
Really?
Why do you have stuff hotkeyed to the F keys? What the fuck? Let's see. There's some basic bitch equipment. Anyway, let's get back into it.
Shits with everybody in your life. And if you're not able to fix your relationship with your parents, again, even like internally, if they're dead or whatever, like you might not be able to have a relationship with them, but like just psychologically repair that connection you had with them. If you're not able to do that, I think it becomes very difficult, if not impossible, to have a good relationship with anybody.
No, that is true. I'll give them that.
So,
especially women.
if you're in that situation, maybe your parents neglected you a bit.
Man, if you don't heal the trauma between your mother and yourself, you're going to struggle with women, because you will always see them as this archetype of the anima archetype. You'll always see them as that Virgin Mary archetype, which is a problem. That's what part of the porn addiction's about, is that you see most women, not you, who I'm talking to specifically, but most people see women as that prostitute archetype, the Mary Magdalene, right? It's either Virgin Mary or Mary Magdalene, and a lot of times it's both. But they're both lies. They're both archetypes. They're not real, you know? The anima and the animus aren't necessarily positive things because they're both unreal.
I do think it's worth it to try and fix that situation. I'm still working on it. I haven't fully done it yet. I still have resentment issues and bitterness towards my parents.
Oh, here we go.
But I'm trying my best to deal with it.
So this is part of the problem too, and I think I left it in my comment, where he's trying to, let's get off that frame, he's trying to deal with it in quotes, right? Which, if he were to just deal with it in a sense of approaching them and calling them out, not necessarily calling them out, but approaching them physically and being, hey, you were a piece of shit all my life, but I'm starting to realize this is how you do it, right? I've talked about this before. Hey, you're a piece of shit all my life, but I realize that you're just a human being and I had no right to hate you. I'm sorry, because it's my fault it's basically my fault for having these weird expectations, not seeing you as a human being, right? So in his mind, he doesn't see it that way. If he were to just approach both of his parents and forgive them, that would be dealing with it, and it would be one and done. There would actually be no dealing with it at all, because he'd be done. It's over. But he I don't know where he gets his idea. A lot of people do, and I don't blame him, because I had this idea too, where they keep just playing the events in their head, right? And they think that's going to fix things, and it doesn't fix things, because it's not substantiated in reality.
And have as working on it. I haven't fully done it yet. I still have resentment issues and bitterness towards my parents. But I'm trying my best to deal with it and have as best a relationship as I can with them. And in the short term, talking to my dad every week, spending more time with my mom, it has helped. It definitely helps
Having
to have
a
kind
conjugal
of
visit.
have a kind of companion in life like that.
A conjugal visit with his father.
Spouses. But I think it's very important that you have that kind of connection with your parents, because, like I said, there's a very primal, deep human need
you can tell
to have a good relationship.
You can tell your parents to fuck off after you forgive them.
And you find that you're neglecting your kids, my God, dude, you have to fix that. You have to fix that for your own sake and for your child. And if you're a parent out there who's a good parent, God bless you. Seriously, I say it's coming from an atheist. God bless you, sir. Because there's really, if you have a kid, there's no more important job.
Well, you're an atheist. I would have never guessed.
For your own sanity, but also for the kid and for civilization. I really think like all of civilization's problems can probably be traced back to fucked up parent-child relationships. All the psychological
See,
problems,
this is what
all the criminality,
this is the
all that
part.
stuff. It's
This is the part that had my suspicions kind of peaked up, or perked up rather, that he's maybe watching my videos, and I don't know if he is or not, right?
stems ultimately from a
Which is fine, but he's getting the completely wrong message from them. He's just taking ideas and trying to incorporate it into his own life, and it's not working out because he's actually not doing what I said. um, Kirk says, amazing how few situations are like Billy's, where the father is mostly in the picture rather than the mother. Oh yeah, super rare. But it usually ends up working out better for the child. Billy's son, for instance, potentially could have an amazing life just because he wasn't surrounded by that feminine energy at all times. Not only coming from his mother, you know, Jenny from Forrest Gump, and not being surrounded by the other females that could potentially be in the way, or even males, the fake animus for that matter. If this lady, Billy's son's mother, has guys around, that's a problem too. Because that traumatizes the children having this fake animus around that isn't the father. They're gonna have the fake animus and may as well be the father. You know what I mean? It's a better chance than hell.
defunct relationship, the criminality, all that stuff. It stems ultimately from a defunct relationship with parents. Mm-hmm. So if you are a good parent, you are a paragon insofar as that's concerned. And if you're struggling to forgive your parents, if you're looking for ways to maybe deal with it.
See, he still hasn't done it though, so I don't know why he's talking like this. This dude is only a few steps before being the amazing atheist. I forgot about that dude. Oh my god. Oh shit, I forgot about this dude. He goes by Into the Fray.
I say to my
I used to listen to him a little bit, and I think he may have been Sam Harris is more on the lines of got me to dislike atheists, and I never considered myself an atheist just because assholes like Sam Harris, but I'm pretty sure this dude had a lot to do with it too. Transgender bigots hate speech. Oh my lord. A case against Christianity. Oh my goodness. That's what he looked like 20 years ago. Yeah, I would
I say to myself,
shut the fuck up. I would get a makeover too if I looked like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm this handsome dude or anything, but so this is hell. Trump is worse than I thought. Oh, so he's one of the oh wow, so he's one of these like super liberal, neoliberal atheists too, which is like probably I would consider the most literal deadliest kind of atheist out there. He has a cat though. I guess I can forgive him.
So
he's got
on
a kitty cat.
Friday, my cat Corn Pop died.
Oh, never mind. My bad.
And
Corn Pop? Whoops.
I don't really know what I want you to do about it. I know that if
damn, this dude made a 40-minute video about his cat dying. What the fuck? That's weird. I mean, it's weird that no, it's not recent. Where did I find that? Was it latest? Well, yeah, there is 2 months ago. What the hell? Every atheist I've seen is some kind of alcoholic for obvious reasons. Yeah, really. I might check this dude out again. Gotta have Hitler on there. Where's Hitler? 3 villains that were right. I don't see Adolf on there. Let me stop.
Again, depending on your situation, your mileage may vary, but one thing that really helped me kind of deal with this in a positive way is recognizing that in my parents' case, they had it way, way worse than I did. My mom was one of 7 kids.
Ooh.
And when you have 7 kids and they were really poor,
yep,
it's really hard for parents to be present and loving and available to their kids. And she
they called it the baby boom.
And her dad, I'm gonna speak ill of him. I don't care. He wasn't. I never even knew my maternal grandfather.
Here we go. You see, Forgive. This is bullshit, man. Oh my god, every single time. He don't have a single fucking issue talking shit about his dad, but he'll. I mean, he don't have a single issue talking shit about his dad, but he won't about his mother. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that a fucking?
And when you have 7
Ain't that a fucking coinkydink?
kids and they were really poor, it's really
Oh,
hard
my mommy was poor, but my father, he was a piece of shit.
for parents to be present and
What a fucking surprise.
loving and available to their kids. And she dealt with that severely. And her dad, I'm gonna speak ill of him. I don't care. He wasn't. I never even knew my maternal grandfather.
I wish I was making shit
And
up.
based on the things that she told me, he was
Oh, she's talking about. Oh, so he's talking about the grandfather, right? Am I hearing that right?
their kids, and she dealt with that severely. And her dad, I'm gonna speak.
Okay,
I'm gonna
her
speak
dad,
ill of
okay.
him. I don't care. He wasn't.
He has no
I never even knew
hesitation.
my maternal grandfather.
It's the same shit, really.
And based on the things that she told me,
I'm
he
sure the
was
grandmother was an
a
angel.
real piece of shit, gambling addict, alcoholic.
Here we go.
Actively like talked down to her, and
You don't know that.
I don't think he ever physically abused her, but
See, he's only taking a secondhand story and retelling it and just believing her, right? Like, oh, he used to beat her and was an alcoholic and blah blah blah. You really believe all that bullshit? You want to know all the shit that my wife and her mother talk about the grandfather? Because he went to World War II in Japan, saying that he probably slept with all these Japanese girls and stuff. And I have to remind them every time that they don't know that. I have to literally go, you don't know that. You're just repeating what your grandma said, and she doesn't even know that. Or repeating what what the grandmother said. It's so fucked up. It's so twisted. They'll just talk shit about this man who literally built the house that she was raised in. Talk shit about him. Gave the grandma such an easy life where she didn't have to work a single day other than the house cleaning, right? Oh my god, she was a slave. Other than the house cleaning, they still talk shit about him. He was just a quiet dude who worked all his life, literally worked himself to death. And after the fact, after he's dead, they still talk trash about him of how he could have cheated on her in Japan. It's fucking sick, man. That is some sick, twisted shit. Let's see, Kirk says my mom's side, mother and father were both pieces of shit. I saw my grandmother was the worst of the two, though. They usually are, dude. Oh man, it's so twisted when they start talking about. I think they stopped doing it around me because they know I'm the first one to start speaking up for him because I think it's fucking crazy the way they just talk about him like that. And it's like, where's the evidence? Do you have evidence? Like, have you literally seen him cheat on her? No? Then be quiet. That's fucking crazy. That's your father, man. Like, my mother-in-law, right? Like, that's her father that they're talking about. It's fucking twisted, dude. I can't stand that shit.
but like he was just a real piece of shit, and
I'm
made her
sure
feel
he
like
was.
shit. And she told me that even despite all of that, she worshipped the guy, right?
See, that's another problem, right?
Which shows how
According to people like this, where it's like, oh, she loved her father so much, and that was just a problem. For some fucking reason. I hear that shit all the time too.
strong that bond is between child and parent. He was a complete piece of garbage, and she still, as a kid, not knowing anything, worshipped the guy like a god. To give you an idea of the kind of guy he was, on his deathbed, when my mom was seeing him before he died, like the first thing he said to her, the first thing he did was comment on her weight.
What did he say?
It was basically say, "You're looking a little fat."
Nice.
On his deathbed. Hadn't seen her in like a decade.
What do you mean on his
Right?
deathbed?
And the first-
Was he in the hospital making small talk? I mean, so stupid. Like, how many days was he in bed? How many days was he on his deathbed, quote unquote? A week? A few days? You know, you're bullshitting with people. You're trying to have a moment with your family. Like, this is so stupid. He heard this story and automatically what he was on his deathbed and all he could say was how fat she was. It's like, I seriously doubt that's the way it went down, man. People have conversations. Conversations lead into other conversations. He wasn't sitting there just dying the whole time, you know? So stupid. People are so fucking fucked in the head.
thing that came to his mind was to cut her down about her weight.
Okay, cut her down. Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Now, neither of my parents were anywhere near that evil.
And that's not evil.
My dad,
It's evil. Really, it's evil to talk about somebody's weight like that. You look like you put on a few pounds. That's evil. You want to know what evil is? You fucking idiot.
his dad was absent. His dad was just emotionally unavailable. And his mom viciously beat the shit out of him and his sister constantly. Real fucked up shit, right? And that completely screwed him up for his whole life. And my parents were nowhere near as bad as that. My dad, because he was dealing with this stuff, didn't really give a shit. Was kind of doing his own thing. I saw him.
His entire outlook on his entire outlook on his grandfather is hearsay from his mother. Yep, 100%. That's my point.
All the time. Like, I was over his house
Stupid.
every day after school. My mom would pick me up because they were divorced.
This is getting boring.
My mom would pick me up after school from his house. So I saw him a lot, but
Really?
stuff.
Where was your
Didn't
father?
really give a shit. Was kind of doing his own thing. I saw him all the time. Like, I was over his house every day after school. My mom would pick me up because they were divorced. My mom would pick me up after school from his house. So
I wonder
saw him a
why I'm
lot,
so
but
fucked up.
I was in the other room playing video games. You know, I wasn't really spending time with him.
Divorced, put in front of a video game. Wow,
And same
never
thing
heard
with
that
my mom.
before.
She's working all the time. She's stressed out. She doesn't know how to be a parent. She's screwed up herself. And as a result, I just didn't get the attention I needed. But I was never treated anywhere near the way both of them were treated by their parents. As far as I know, my maternal grandfather was great. I loved her. There was nothing wrong with her. But my maternal grandfather
Of course.
and paternal grandmother were evil.
Like fucking clockwork, man. It's just, you can just call it ahead of time. Grandmama did no wrong.
People. And it feels kind of weird to say that.
You
about
have
your
two,
grandparents,
dude.
But
You have 4 grandparents.
they deserve it. You know, they kind of deserve it. They did what they did. They earned it.
Take a sip.
And it helped me to forgive them, to realize that they had it way worse. And they could have been way worse, right? They could have been physically abusive and really psychologically abusive, but they weren't.
They may as well have been.
You know, despite having gone through that as kids, they didn't then, they did kind of continue the trauma, but in a much more kind of passive and avoidant way than a positively malicious way, you know, and they also both feel bad about it. They regret what, you know, the lack of parenting that they gave me. So, you know, they're a lot better than their parents.
They apologize.
Right? And they could have screwed me up way worse than they did. So in a sense, there's virtue in that they didn't do what their parents did to them. They didn't mess me up as bad as their parents messed them up. And it makes me wonder sometimes how screwed up they were and how screwed up their parents were. Like, why aren't they as like fucked up as I am in the sense of being a failure in life? Like, my mom always made decent money. She had a decent career, despite everything she went through. And my dad, not so much, but you know, he has a house, right? He's more adult than I am. And I was wondering why, if they had it so much worse, why are they comparatively better than me? And then I'm thinking maybe it has to do with the economy, right? They're boomers. They had the best economy in human history. Like, if they had to go through what they went through as kids, but they lived in the modern economy, you know, they could have been homeless drug addicts for all I know. So that was just an interesting thing. I was thinking, like, they had it way worse, but they're comparatively better off. Maybe they're just better than me. Maybe I'm just weaker than them naturally. But I do think the economy probably plays a role in that. They were in a sense lucky to be boomers because they didn't have to. They could get away with more. Maybe, I don't know. This maybe sounds a little gross, me talking like this. It's just something I thought about. Like,
Why?
the comparison?
I say shit like that all the time.
Stuff. But
let's see. Kirk says, "Well, you seem pretty messed up, Snook. So not sure about that." Yeah.
So yeah, I think the opposite of addiction is family.
Oh my god.
Really, I think if you can take anything away from this, the opposite of addiction is family.
It's really not.
So if you find yourself suffering from addiction, I think the best solution that you could find with someone
I might go
going
ahead and
through
get
a very
into my comics. I'm tired of this.
Thinking about the business or whatever.
Okay, we're done. Yep. Let me finish eating this ciggy and I want to get into the comment I left. Take this fucking thing off. I'm no longer a scholar. Let's see, going over my comment. The opposite of addiction is not addiction. Let's see. So going over my comment. Need boomer vision. Addiction has nothing to do with the lack of social interaction, has everything to do with the anger you have for your parents, specifically your mother. All these things you describe of hitting rock bottom is all in your head. Physically, you're fine. You have a roof over your head and a social network keeping you afloat. All those... Make sure I'm not muted. Yep. All those sorts of meetings... All those sorts of meetings do is perpetuate... Oh, okay, like AA meetings. All those sorts of meetings do is perpetuate the issue. Okay, so earlier he was talking about how Alcoholics Anonymous and those kind of meetings are supposed to like help you, right? And it's really just about airing your dirty laundry out and to start associating with these labels with your personality, you know? That's what AA meetings usually are. They're usually Christian led too, which is a big thing that nobody tends to mention. AA meetings are very Christian oriented from what I've heard. All these sorts of meetings do is perpetuate the issue, having you identify with the labels of quote unquote I need help, and again it's still in your own mind. The people at those meetings just want to see someone more miserable than them. They're not there to help you. It's just another social network who will want to control and keep you with the loop of self-identify with fake psychological labels. Let go of your angle. Let go of your anger, and you'll start dropping these vices and addictions. Who told you you had to be in your nephew's lives? It isn't your responsibility to be present in your nephew's lives. They already have two parents who are supposed to meet all their needs. Being in their life because you want to is one thing. Doing it out of guilt is another, and a more destructive way to do it. They'll see through the farce easily. Don't force interactions with them for your selfish desires. Let's see, bro, your mother is an adult. Bro, your mother is an adult. She should be able to handle her son not interacting with her. Although you should work on getting out of her house. um, let's see. You're mistaking the healing that you're getting from making amends with your parents as a missing social connection. Don't mistake it. They're separate entities. Reuniting with your father is all it takes for you to be renewed. Do not mistake it for basic social interactions. You don't need other people besides yourself. You only need that healing that comes from within once your anger passes. No human being can fill the void. Addicts lacked a primary caregiver, so a mother, you don't say. What a disingenuous way of saying neglectful mother. It's nuts the way these people avoid the blame on the mother. I think I was talking about something he was quoting rather than him saying something. So how are you dealing with it exactly? I think I mentioned this earlier. Sitting around hoping they'll forgive themselves. You already see there's a problem and you have the solution. Go to your father or mother, tell them you were wrong for hating them, and let them know you're sorry. This is your fault by this point, not theirs. The anger inside of you had everything to do with you and not them. So you go and apologize to them. So that's basically what I put. I think that was about it. Social interaction is the opposite of that. What was I replying to? I'm a therapist. Oh, really? I'm sure you are. Addiction equals isolation, and recovery equals connection. You have a great insight. Keep sharing. I said recovering equals self-reflection. Social interaction is the opposite of that. Looking for solutions outside of yourself. All of the answers are within and not without. Not a single human being can help you with your problems, especially some clown parroting stuff you read in a book. Charlatans like you is the reason why youth are addicted to medication. You're the lowest of the low. Oh, so I basically called him an asshole. That's really funny. Anyway, that about covers that.